Hello, now we will solve the following exercise using the Python language. Write a Python program with a function that receives a sorted list L of integer numbers, and the function then returns the median of L. Okay, as always, the code and the exercise list is in the description of the video, and if you like, subscribe to the channel. Oh, let's go. Let's divide our code into the functions part and the main part, just to be better organized. So our function will be here, and our main code will be here. This is not Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. This is Ctrl+4 on Spider, which creates a header like a structure. It's very useful. It's very beautiful, at least for me. Well, let's do our functions here. Def, because we are making our function, define a function, and we have to calculate a median. So calculate median, which will receive a list which we call L here. Just to remember, the library NumPy has a function that calculates median from arrays, and I indicate you to use this function in your code rather than create your own. But since we are learning here, let's create our function. If I'm not mistaken, NumPy.median is the function to calculate the median of our array. Okay, let's go. We have to calculate our median here. Let's first think a little bit about the problem. For those who do not remember, the median is the central value of the array. So for example, here we have 7 values in this list, and the median will be the value in the center, the fourth value, which in this case is the 12. And if, well, the central value, when you have an odd number of values, it's easy to think, but when the list has a even number of values, how do we calculate the median? Well, in this case, for example, if we had a 13 here, then we do not have a central value. The median is the 2 values from the center added up and divided by 2. Is the mean of these 2 values. So for example, in this case, the median would be 12.5. Okay, let's return. Let's go. So we have 2 different possibilities here, 2 different ways to calculate the median. We will need a if inside, and in order to not declare variables inside a if, let's declare the median outside of if here. Let's just put 0 and we change it inside the if. Okay, let's first check if the quantity of numbers in the list is even, and then if it's odd. Okay, so if the length or for list, reminder 2 is equal to 0, so if the integer division by the number of the elements of our list and 2 is equal to 0, so if we can divide it perfectly, then it's even, and we make the code. If it's not, then it's odd, and we make the code here. And after checking it and calculate the median, we return the median. Okay, let's first do if the number of elements is odd, because it's the easiest one to make. Our median in this case will be the central value of the list. And which one is the central value of the list? Is L in the position, length of L divided by 2. Length of L, the number of elements of L divided by 2, will give us the central position. And since we have to access this index in the list, this must be an integer. So for example, here we have 7 elements. 7 divided by 2, 3.5. However, since we are dealing with integers here, the number is truncated. Only the integer part matters, because we cannot access the index 3.5 in a list. We can access the index 3 or 4, but since we are doing a rough cast here, the number is truncated. Out of conversion, the number is truncated. And in this case, it's 3. So the central value, because the indexes always starts from 0. And this should be it for the odd number of elements. Now for the even ones, we have to adapt the two parts. Okay, first let's adapt the part from the right of the median, the central point. Why I'm saying the right here? Because if we look to a list which has an even number of elements, for example this one has 8 elements. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. 4 is the index of 13, yeah. And if you look up, the central point of this list would be between 12 and 13. So the central point would be here. However, when I access the length divided by 2, will give me the position on the right. So I add up the position to the right of the center, to the left of the center, and I divide it by 2. Okay, so this is the right of the center. I add up to the left of the center, which is the position immediately before, and I divide it by 2. And this should be it. Let's test it. Let's test with the odd number of elements, as this example is, and with the even one. So let's create here test 1 with this list, and we'll print the median. %f, which will be calculate median of test 1. This should print 12 because it's the central value, as the examples here show. Let's test again. The test 2 should be, let's put the 13 here as we explored before. So in this case should be 12 plus 13, which is 25, divided by 2, so 12.5. In this case should be 12.5. So let's go. 12.5, and that's it. Thank you.